Going through your tax documents and receipts can stress you out, but Channel 9 consumer advisor Clark Howard says filing your taxes this year may be easier than you think. Developing this morning, 90 million people across the country are dealing with severe weather this weekend. That includes here in Virginia, where you can see flooding has trapped some people inside their homes. Chuck Siverstein has a look at the conditions being seen from coast to coast.
This Time and Temperature is sponsored by Toyota of Orlando, Toyota of Claremont. This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News this morning. Coverage you can count on.
Today's the day. This year's Daytona 500 is just hours away. The excitement building at the Speedway and the weather concerns everyone will be watching closely. Plus, investigators will return to the site of a deadly plane crash in Flagler County. The questions that are still unanswered right now. And our next rocket launch is just a couple days away. What will happen during this one that's never been done before? Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, February 16th. I'm Sam Martello. Your time right now is 8 o'clock. Right now, the countdown is on to today's big race. The Daytona 500 is set to begin in just over 5 hours. This is an event that brings in thousands of visitors right here to Volusia County. Well, racing continued on the track yesterday at the Daytona International Speedway. The Xfinity Series drivers took their turn around the 2.5-mile trial. Developing this morning, investigators with the FAA and NTSB will return to the site of a deadly plane crash in Flagler County. Well, today, people will say their final goodbyes to a woman who was killed in a home invasion in Orlando. This morning, firefighters are looking into the cause of a fire at a Seminole County business. This morning, 3 more hostages taken by Hamas are now back home as part of a ceasefire deal with Israel. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is set to meet with Israel's prime minister this morning to discuss moving into phase 2 of the ceasefire. That would see the release of all remaining hostages. Looking ahead, some people in Volusia County may need to prepare for detours on their typical commute. Over the next 6 months. This week, SpaceX plans to make history. It's set to launch a Falcon 9 rocket from the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station at 6 o'clock Tuesday night. This morning, a player for the Orlando Magic and Osceola Magic is an AT&T Slam Dunk Contest champion again. But thank you. Well, we've told you eggs are in short supply and prices are going up. Coming up, the switch many popular restaurants are making with costs expected to climb. And certain benefits are crucial to Florida families. Yet one website that's supposed to help with that has become a real issue. Next, 9 investigates how this problem could be fixed.
Drone 9, only on Channel 9 Eyewitness News, getting you closer over the scene of breaking news. Sponsored by Bogan Munns & Munns. No gimmicks, just results.
David, thank you. A Volusia County woman battling cancer tells 9 investigates she shouldn't have to fight the state of Florida, too. For more than a year, Channel 9's Sabrina Maggiore has investigated problems with the website millions of Floridians depend on for benefits like food stamps and medical coverage. This morning, she has new questions for state leaders in this benefits battle.
Medicaid is already a complicated system, and patients tell us it's even more confusing because of the technical glitches we've been telling you about for a year. People have told me they've been denied coverage because they couldn't get documents into the system. And now some who do have coverage can't get their bills paid. Jody told us this week she got a call from a DCF representative who said they would work with her directly to figure out her billing issues. Meanwhile, after the news conference, a governor's spokesman called and acknowledged he'd heard of issues with the portal, saying some were legitimate. But instead of elaborating, he sent us back to DCF, which denies there are any problems. You can read the agency's full statement on our website, WFTV.com. In studio, I'm Sabrina Maggiore, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Well, 1 in 6 kids in Central Florida is experiencing hunger. Coming up, how this new market at an Osceola County school is making sure students can focus on their lessons. Following the best deals from local businesses, here's a look at today's local steals and deals. If you own an Igloo cooler, you may need to watch your fingers. Well, Central Florida is packed with NASCAR fans ahead of today's Daytona 500. 5 hours away. Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, February 16th. I'm Sam Martello. Your time right now, just about 8. Thank you. Well, of course, a big story in Central Florida today is the Daytona 500. People from across the country will fill the stands at Daytona International Speedway, and that's expected to include President Donald Trump. Channel 9's Giovanni. Well, developing this morning, the CDC has confirmed another human case of the bird flu. That, in turn, is affecting the country's egg supply and leading to record high prices. Well, students in Altamont Springs could see a new member of the police department walking around their school. Coming up, the items Bailey has been trained to sniff out. Covering Seminole County, a highly trained police dog is now on the job in Altamont Springs, helping to keep students safe. Well, if you've been sick recently, you're certainly not alone. Coming up, a doctor explains how you can tell the difference between the common cold and allergies. Many of you may be dealing with allergy issues. Pollen is already flying even before spring arrives. Some children in Kissimmee will be able to get free food at an elementary school.